If-else logic in Thunkable is used to make decisions inside your app based on certain conditions. It allows your app to behave differently depending on user input, values, or data. For example, you can check if a text field is empty, if a password is correct, or if a number meets a requirement. Start by opening your Thunkable project in your browser and selecting the screen where you want the logic to run. This is usually tied to a button click or another user action. In a traditional setup, you would go to the blocks area and use an if-else block. Since newer Thunkable versions may rely on AI prompts instead of manual blocks, you can either use visual logic or simply describe the condition in chat. If you're using AI chat, you can type something like, "If the user input is empty, show an error message, otherwise go to the next screen." The system will automatically generate the conditional logic behind the scenes. If you're using the block editor, the if-else block works like a decision point. You place a condition at the top, such as checking whether a value equals something or is greater than another value. Inside the if section, you place what should happen when the condition is true. Inside the else section, you define what happens when it is false. For example, you can check if a text input equals a correct password. If it matches, the app navigates to the home screen. If it does not match, the app shows an error message. You can also combine if-else logic with variables and other components. This allows your app to react dynamically based on user behavior. For instance, you can check a score variable and display pass if it is above a certain number, or try again if it is lower. The if-else structure is important because it helps your app make decisions instead of running everything in a fixed order. It is what makes apps feel interactive and intelligent. After setting up your condition, always test it using Thunkable Live or Preview mode. Try different inputs to make sure both the if and else paths work correctly. And that's how if-else conditional logic works in Thunkable. You define a condition, decide what happens if it is true, and define what happens if it is false, either using blocks or by describing it through AI prompts.